Hello everybody, what's up? Today we're going to talk about 10 games you may have missed, 10 lesser known games that I have played that I think are really fun. I want to let you know about it so that you can have some fun too. One of my favorite gaming systems ever. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. These are in no particular order. I have a list of 10 games that in general, they're not the most known games. They're lesser known games, that's what I'm saying. And probably less people have played. You know, everybody's played Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, but these are games that you may have either never heard of, or two, didn't hear too much about it and was a little hesitant buying and didn't buy it. And I think you should buy it because these are fun. No particular order. Some of these are really short, like the first one is only a couple hours long, but super fun. It's called Typo Man. Yeah, it's a game. Is platformer the right word? I'm not sure. But you're going through sections with puzzles and you have to figure out a little puzzle to get through. But here's the thing. Typo Man, it has to do with words. So there are letters scattered around that you have to put together, like put the word open together. Like there's pen, and then there's like an O somewhere else. You have to bring that O over to the pen to make it open, and it's by the door, and the door opens. That's just like a small example I can give you, but it's a lot of puzzles just like that, using words and spelling, and it sounds like, oh, that's a game that you should play in school to learn your words, but no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Definitely give it a shot. I think it's cheaper. It's only 2 hours. It's quick. But it's fun. Like, I'm going to play it again because it was so much fun. Next game on the list is Rime, R-I-M-E. It's a port, I believe. I've never played it before. Now, I don't like how the system handles the game. There's a lot of times where there's lag. But I was okay with it, and I played the game, and I was actually surprised at how good the game was. I was actually surprised at how good a story could be without any words, because there's nobody talking. There's just like visuals and, you know, there's no dialogue basically, but there's a story and a storyline, and I was actually surprised at how good that was without using words. Like, that's really good, and the game was fun. A lot to explore. It was generally short, not as short as Typo Man, but it was definitely fun. Definitely fun. I definitely Googled some stuff because I got stuck. You will get stuck. There are puzzles and there's no tutorial. So I got stuck quite a bit. I feel like I haven't played it in a while, but definitely will again. So next game, Layers of Fear. Layers of Fear. A good game to sit down and play around Halloween. It's good. So it's a scary game. You go through, I forget what it is, like a mansion or something like that, or some kind of house of and you're picking up notes and clues, and you're not just going into rooms and doing puzzles and stuff like that. Things change around you. It's very trippy in a sense. Like, you'll go into a room, right? And then all of a sudden things will change and things are moving, and it's really hard to explain, but it is fun. You go back out of the door expecting to see exactly where you came from, but it's completely different. So there's no map because things constantly change. And at first you're like, why did things change? But it's part of the story, and it's definitely worth it. It's shorter. I think it's probably a couple hours or maybe 4 hours or something like that. I forget, but extremely fun. Definitely worth looking into if you're into scary, creepy kind of games. Check into it. You know, Google some gameplay and see if you're into it. Because I definitely had fun, and I will be playing that again. Next up on the list is a game released kind of recently called Go Home. There's no weapons. There's no enemies. You're going through a home that takes place in the 90s. This is what got me. It takes place in the 90s, and that is so much fun. You see cassettes and you see tape players and you see things that were relevant in the 90s, which, you know, I'm a 90s kid at heart, and just going through a house with that kind of stuff is just so much fun to explore and see things from back then, styles of clothing from back then. There's not much to the game, honestly. The game probably lacked in a bunch of areas, But it was a good couple hours, a couple hour game, and it was fun. It was a lot of nostalgia in a sense of like seeing old stuff like cassettes, like I said. And but there's little puzzles you have to figure out and unlock doors and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy, but if you're into that kind of thing, definitely look it up and play it, because I had a lot of fun, and I'll probably play that again. Next up on the list will be a game called Bulb Boy. Another game that's short. It's probably 2 to 4 hours, I forget exactly, and you take it a screen at a time, and there's puzzles you have to figure out to move on to the next one, like a lot of games. But it's fun. You play this boy who has a big head. It's like a light bulb. I guess that's what he is, a light bulb. I don't really know. But it's fun. It's I had a lot more fun than I thought I would playing it, and I'm glad I bought it and played it. And I'll probably play it again. But like I said, it's a short game, like most of the games on this list. Next game is called Kona, with a K, K-O-N-A. Lots of fun. It's a snowy area. You have this like town with different houses, and you have a car you can drive around to the different houses. And you're basically getting clues, and you're going to this house and getting clues, you're going to that house and getting clues. I don't remember the storyline, but I don't want to spoil it anyway for you guys, so we're not going to talk about the storyline. But that's the type of game. You're going around getting clues to figure something out. You have some vehicles, and it's a small town. It's a snowy, dead town. Really cool setting. I had a ton of fun playing it. It's shorter, but not as short as the previous ones. I forget. Maybe it was 10 hours. Maybe it was 5 or something like that. I definitely recommend the website howlongtobeat.com. Whenever I'm researching games I might want to buy, I always plug it into howlongtobeat.com, and it gives you an average of how long the game is. Players log it in, and there's like a low setting, there's a high setting. It'll show you like the average playthrough, and then it'll show you like a completionist playthrough. It's really helpful. It's really helpful. It'll show you if a game is like 5 hours long or 120 hours long. You know, it's nice to know before you buy things how long the game is. Next game on the list is Max, The Curse of Brotherhood. It's very childish in a sense. It looks like a Pixar movie when the game starts. You know, you have two brothers fighting, and it looks very nice. It's very nice. But another one that surprised me, it's very fun. It's a longer-ish game, longer than the previous, maybe 10 hours, between 5 and 10, something like that, I don't remember. But it's a lot of fun. It's platforming, you're jumping, you have a pen, I think, or is it a marker or a crayon or something that you're using to lift up pillars and move things around the screen as you're moving. It definitely got tricky at times. When you're out running this monster, you don't have weapons, but you have this ability to move things with the pen or the crayon or whatever it is, I forget. It is probably one of the first games I played on the Switch over a year ago, so I don't remember too much, but it was very, very fun and definitely worth looking into. Next game we're going to talk about is More Fights. So it's been compared to, people have said it's what No Man's Sky should have been. I've never played No Man's Sky, so I have absolutely no idea. But it's this very polygon world. And you're in a spaceship, and you can go to all these different planets. Each planet has different resources. There's quests and a storyline, and it's fun. It's definitely fun, probably closer to 10-hour gameplay time, and definitely worth looking into. Next game is 2 games left. Lifeless Planet. Another game you're going in space. But I forget the storyline, but I don't want to give it away anyway, but you're a space, an astronaut in a spacesuit, and you're on this planet, and you don't know anything about it. So I'm not going to go into anything, but there's theories. You start thinking like, well, what is this? And then the theories start coming up in the game, and they're suggesting things like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I don't want to give anything away, so if I talk about it any more than this, it's the kind of game where you don't want even an idea of something else that it could have been. That could spoil it too. I don't want to spoil anything for this game, but it's definitely fun. It's platforming. You're jumping around to rocks and pillars and stuff like that, and you're figuring things out, and it surprised me as well. Very, very fun game. And the last game we're going to talk about is a port, Firewatch. If you've never played it before, you basically took on a job after a tragedy-ish kind of thing happens with you. You took on a job and you're watching fires in a forest, I believe, and you have this tower that you live in, and you're communicating with this other tower, this girl, and just the dialogue between the two people is probably the best thing about the game. I really enjoyed that, how they connect on different levels, and days go by. It's not like the day after, like 20 days will go by and then the next part comes on the game. But you're walking around. Some people call it a walking simulator, but it's fun. You're going around trying to figure out things, and there's not too much to figure out. A lot of the figuring out comes from the map, I feel like, trying to find different places and how to get to a certain places. I remember being stuck trying to figure out, how do I get there? This is blocked, so I got to figure out a different way to go around certain things and get to where I need to go. Not everybody's favorite game, but it was definitely fun and definitely worth it. 2 thumbs up for me. All these games are fun. Let me know if you ever played any of these and any games you think would be on the list or should be on the list. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified for new videos, and I will see you next time.